Good evening to you. This stethoscope here is a clue to the setting of tonight's play, a hospital. But in addition to all the tragedies, tensions, triumphs, and even happy moments which you find in all hospitals, this one has some added factors which in just a moment I'll be back to tell you more about. Now, first of all, the setting of our story's hospital is in Malaya, where, away from the big centers, conditions impose severe hardships on those charged with treating and curing the natives of this hot and, in parts, wild land. In the second place, the plot deals with a conflict, not of purpose, but of outlook, between the chief doctor and a new assistant doctor, a woman. Ladies and gentlemen, I take pleasure in presenting A New Life.
Allahu ya Rahmanu ya Rahim. Syukur alhamdulillah. Syukur alhamdulillah.
Dr. Lambert, I'd just like to say, I believe you did everything humanly possible.
Yes, I did all I could. If you'd only come earlier, this wouldn't have happened. They come when it's too late and then expect miracles. They must attend for regular consultation. They must.
9 o'clock, Dr. Lambert.
Thank you. Well, Moray, shall we go?
Right. Dr. Braden, are you coming?
Is that the last?
You look all in, my dear.
It's only the heat. We seem to get more patients every day.
That's only an illusion.
Too many, but never enough.
You should try to remember it can't all be done at once, even by someone as gifted as you.
Gifted?
You were born for this kind of work. People are, you know.
Microcytic anemia advanced. Attendance 3 times a week. Iron therapy, liver injections. She must enter the hospital 2 weeks before confinement. Now, that's important. Is this the first time you've been to a doctor?
In Rangoon, I go.
How long were you under his care?
I went only once.
Only once. Well, you'll have to come and visit us more often. Sister will give you a card. Show the day of your next visit. Bring the card with you every time you call. And follow these instructions. Can you read?
A little. My husband reads very well.
Good. Do exactly as it says there. Get as much rest as you can, and always come in for treatment. During the next few months, you're going to have to be very, very careful. I mean that. This is serious. You understand?
Yes.
Here's your card.
There's nothing to be afraid of. Now, you mustn't worry. Everything's going to be all right.
Thank you, Dr. Braden. I'm going to tell you the truth because I want to help you. With your sickness, it isn't good to have a baby. So we must get you as well as we can, as soon as we can. Is that clear?
Yes.
Any questions?
Will I live?
Of course you'll live. You'll have a fine, healthy baby. Now, you go home. Don't worry about anything.
Next.
That's all, Doctor. Theatre 11:30. The Sikis boy.
Ah, yes. Dr. Braden, I'd like to have a word with you.
Now?
Yes, now.
Do you mind if we talked over a cup of coffee?
No? Coffee's important to you? Thank you. What I'm about to say to you is in no way intended personally.
I'm sorry to hear that. We've been working together for 2 months now. We haven't made the most rudimentary of human contact.
There's hardly been time, has there? Charming as it might be.
I don't think it would be merely charming. I think it would be important. What is it you want to speak to me about?
That woman just now. You had no right to offer her sentimental reassurances.
Childbirth mortality is one of our greatest problems, isn't it?
One of them, yes.
Then why do we make it all seem so terrifying, so regimented? It's no wonder these women don't come here. If we could explain things to them instead of giving orders.
You think they'd listen to you?
At any rate, a different approach.
I don't follow you.
You sent that girl away without any hope. You told her she was desperately ill. That's all she understood.
I told her the truth. If I hadn't, she may not have come back.
And you think she'll come back now?
Some of them do come back, you know.
About 16%. People here, when they get ill, they seem to give up. They go away and they make up their minds. It isn't any use.
You're trying to tell me they're fatalistic? I'm aware of that.
I thought we might begin from there.
I see. A new regime.
That isn't what I meant.
Dr. Braden, you must let me decide when any changes in hospital routine are necessary. After only a few weeks in this country, you can hardly be expected to understand our problems.
I only want to help these people, to do my job well. Is there anything wrong in that?
I'm not questioning your motives. We have to decide whether you're suitable for this kind of work. It isn't easy. You're young, inexperienced, a woman. Sentiment isn't enough. One actually has to guard against such feelings.
Mind if I come in? I'm another of these poor mortals who can't get through the morning without a cup of coffee. Now, don't let me interrupt.
What I'm talking about isn't sentimentality. Perhaps as a woman, I see the problem in rather a different light.
This is Malaya, Dr. Braden, where I've worked for over 20 years. I believe I know what I'm doing. We're dealing with simple, superstitious people. We have to be firm. That has been my experience. Can't have doctors coming out here trying to undermine my authority. I expect complete loyalty from my staff. I expect them to follow my methods unswervingly. Is that understood?
Yes, Doctor.
Complete loyalty, unswerving devotion. The number of times I've heard that. You know, if you live out here long enough, you become one of two things. A fatalist as I am, or a man like Lambert.
What sort of a man is Dr. Lambert?
A kind of father trying to drum some sense into a couple of 100,000 unruly children, and being a bit harsh about it at times. But he isn't really unsympathetic, just desperately overworked.
He didn't want a woman for this appointment, did he?
He'd have preferred a man, someone he could bully. But with you, he isn't quite sure. It makes it difficult. Give him time, that's a great thing. And whatever happens, don't prove him wrong.
Thanks for the advice.
Ward inspection in 5 minutes. Better not be late.
Min Saab, it is not wrong to talk to you.
Of course not.
The Dr. Saab thinks I will die.
What on earth makes you say that?
At the hospital at Rangoon, they told me I should not marry. I was not going to, but I fell in love. And my husband is so fond of children, I thought... I hoped it would not matter.
Now listen to me. You're very lucky. Dr. Lambert is a great man. You're going to have the best care in the world, and you're going to be perfectly all right. Understand?
You can tell when you read this. It is for someone very sick. I know now the doctor at Rangoon was right. I'm sorry. I should not have troubled you.
Hastina! Give that to me.
But what will I do?
I don't want you to come back here. From now on, I shall take care of you. Don't think of me as a doctor. Think of me as a friend.
I have no friends here. My husband, Karam, owns the store at Palang. It is a small place. Just the villages. Not like Rangoon. Will you come to see me?
Yes, in a day or two. We're going to see a lot of one another from now on. Remember, we're going to be friends.
It's no good, Doctor. You'll never convince me. They shouldn't have sent a person like her out here.
Dr. Braden? Well, I admit she's young.
It's not that. She's the wrong type. You've got to be firm with these natives. Sentimentality gets you nowhere.
Perhaps. Why have we been in this country too long? I sometimes wonder.
Now, arch your back. Easily, don't strain. That's right. Now, relax. Now, arch your back again.
You mean this is all I have to do?
To begin with. You'll have more exercises later. They'll all be very simple. Nothing to be afraid of. In the meantime, we'll carry on with the injections. They're to make you stronger.
My husband. Karam, this is Dr. Braden from the mission. Dr. Braden is going to come and see me every week.
But I thought Dr. Lambert was going to take care of her.
No, Karam, I told you, I do not want to go back there.
But you are sick.
No, I'm not.
Karim, if when the time comes your wife is confident and relaxed, there'll be nothing to worry about. Fear can weaken her more than any illness. I can cure her sickness, but you and your wife must do the rest.
Mimsat, may I ask you something?
Of course.
Are you a real doctor?
I'm a real doctor, Karim. And I know what I'm doing.
Yes, sister, you do it that way.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, Dr. Braden, I'd like to have a word with you.
Dr. Lambert, there's
Not
something
now.
else. It really should be considered now.
In that case, you take it up with Dr. Morey.
But
Seems to be able to find anything in his pockets. Oh, dear. Maybe I should get that sewn up.
I suppose you should.
I'm not mistaken. It's your, you're off duty today, are you not?
Yes, I am.
There's a lecture by Professor Martin of the World Health Organization in Kuala Lumpur this afternoon. We like to keep up to date, Dr. Braden, and thought you might like to attend.
I see.
Most interesting, recent advances in tropical medicine. Of course, if you don't feel inclined...
No, I just made other plans, that's all.
Oh, in that event.
Nothing important. I just thought I'd drive around the villages. When is the meeting?
4:30. It's a long drive, but I thought I'd take you. We could lunch there and dine afterwards. More practical. Of course, if you'd rather not go.
No, I'd love to.
Then I suggest we leave immediately.
Well, give me 5 minutes. I have to change.
Doctor, that matter I wish to discuss with Dr. Lambert. It's about that Indian girl.
Hasina,
She hasn't come back.
why speak to me about it?
You seem very interested in the case. Don't you think we should look into it further?
No,
It's a matter of life and death that this girl has the proper medical care.
maybe. In any case, it certainly isn't your responsibility.
No, Doctor. Certainly isn't.
Well, that's the end of our first act. After a short message from our sponsor, we'll be back with the second act of our play.
I was thinking, if this lecture's so very important, it'll be printed, won't it?
Yes, I suppose it would.
Then couldn't we just read it sometime?
May not go to the meeting? Take the whole day off?
Why not?
Oh, that would be criminal.
You know, I've been here 4 months now, and I haven't seen the Imperial Palace or any of the temples.
Well, I must confess, nor have I. I always meant to, but...
I agree. It would be criminal. It's been a wonderful day. I've enjoyed it tremendously.
You really? I was afraid you might have been bored. After all we did was look at a few old temples.
I wasn't bored at all.
I'm very pleased. Dr. Braden, I do believe the day was not unprofitable. Might do the same thing again sometime.
I should like that.
Oh, what's this?
A reminder to order a copy of the lecture.
Oh! Oh, yes.
Not much longer now. We'll keep up the injections for a while, as they're doing you so much good. But you're altogether better.
Ma'am Sahib, I am very grateful to you. She looks so different.
You've been very good, Karim. She'll be all right now.
And her sickness?
It's going, but it takes time. She won't have any trouble with the baby now, but she's going to need all her strength. So there must be no panic when the time comes. No unnecessary strain.
How long must we wait?
Oh, it won't be for another week or so. All you have to do is to get a message to me at the hospital, and I shall come at once no matter what I'm doing. But the message must be given to me personally. To me and to no one else. Do you understand?
Yes, Ma'am Sahib.
Oh, Dr. Braden. I was wondering where you were.
I'm sorry. My rounds took me rather longer than usual.
I see. I have to go into town today. Some official business. Only a matter of a couple of hours, and I was wondering... That is, I thought you might care to come with me. We could dine together.
No lectures?
And just dinner, the two of us.
I'd love to.
Splendid.
Doctor, I must speak to you.
Can't it wait? I've only got a minute.
This is urgent.
Well?
I took it upon myself to call on Hasina.
You had no right to.
I understand it was on your suggestion that she didn't come back.
What did you say to her?
Then you don't want to deny it?
Tell me what you said to her.
It was obvious her condition is dangerous. I told her she must come back to the mission at once. You're too late, Doctor. I sent the ambulance. She's already on her way here.
You mean...
Yes. It's unfortunate. A premature birth was the one thing we wanted to avoid.
Of course it was. But you had absolutely no right to interfere.
Thank you, sister. Dr. Braden, you've been treating the patient all this time without telling me.
Yes.
And you hoped that I wouldn't find out.
I never thought of that. There seemed a chance of saving her. There was a chance. She trusted me. I spent months winning her confidence. Now, I don't know. I don't know how much damage Sister has done.
I see. We're not to be trusted, eh?
That isn't the point. If I can still save this girl, restore her faith so that she has the strength she needs, I don't care. But you must give me that chance. I know what I did was wrong, and I'm prepared to take the consequences. But please, let me see her alone when she comes in.
That's impossible.
I have the girl's confidence. And you know how much that means in a case like this. Or would you rather treat her against her will?
I'm beginning to get the idea. You mean to force my hand?
I asked you a question, Dr. Lambert. Would you be helping the patient by treating her against her will?
No.
Then may I continue?
The girl wants you. I haven't much choice.
Where is Dr. Braden?
I'm here. I'll be with you.
Dr. Braden. Now, look here. I'm not speaking professionally now. If this girl dies, it could ruin your whole career, and there's nothing I could do to help you. Do you understand?
I'm willing to take that chance.
Still determined to go on?
Yes.
That's all, nurse.
Leave us alone, sister, please.
But, Doctor...
Leave us alone.
Very well.
Now, Hasina, I want you to come over here. Look, I want you to try to imagine something. Beyond this village, there are other villages, towns, cities, millions and millions of lives. Each one came into the world in the same way that you did, and as your baby is going to. All those lives, each one a test of courage, an acceptance of our purpose. Hasina, listen. You're not a sick woman facing death. You've never been so close to life, so much a part of it. In you at this minute is the strength of every living thing, a power that nothing can destroy. There isn't anything to fear. How could there be? Only a few hours ago, you believed this was possible. Why not now? You're still the same. Nothing has changed.
Yes. Yes.
Dr. Lambert, perhaps I shouldn't say this, but don't you think you ought to see this patient?
Girl is no longer my patient. Dr. Braden has taken full responsibility.
The responsibility can only be yours in the end, Doctor.
Only send for me. Ask my advice.
Go to her, man.
No, she took this on herself.
Fiddlesticks. She needs you. She's all alone in there.
I'm the last person she needs at this moment.
You are wrong, Lambert. You're the one person she does need. Go on in. Help her. Don't be so pig-headed.
What is it?
I'm not absolutely sure.
Dr. Braden, this is no way to make a report.
I'm sorry. The patient's pulse has been rising and the blood pressure dropping, quite slowly, but steadily. I thought
Yes?
we might have a consultation.
You want my advice?
I want your help.
Will you take over, Doctor?
No. You're doing very well, Dr. Braden. Don't worry.
Karen Singh, this way, please.
Dr. Braden, it occurred to me, if you're not too tired, we might discuss your theories over a cup of coffee. Hmm?
So we leave our two doctors settling their lives over a cup of coffee, and I leave you with the hope that you'll be turning the knob of your television dial our way the next time one of our plays comes along. Till then, good night and thank you.